Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to talk about Lori Vallow again today. But today we're going to take a look at her upcoming court dates, plural, along with the charges that she still has levied against her and what charges have been dropped. There is a lot of confusion out there on what charges did they drop against her and what does she actually still have pending against her as of right now in December of 2020. So let's jump right into it, and thank you for joining me today. So first off, let's talk about the charges that were dropped against Lori Vallow. Those were two felony charges that she initially had a $1 million bond for. Those were two felonies, and that is what extradited her back along with the three misdemeanors. So she was originally had five charges, two felonies, three misdemeanors. All right? The two felony charges were dropped against her, and those were for non-support of or non-custodial support of a minor. Those two felonies were dropped. Now they had a court date after they dropped those, and at that court date, Mr. Means, her attorney, asked that the bail be lowered from $1 million to a $10,000 total, is what he asked for on all three misdemeanor charges. The magistrate in the case, Michelle Mallard, said no, nope, well, I'm not dropping it to $10,000 for three misdemeanors. I will drop it down to $50,000 per misdemeanor bond on each one for a total of $150,000, since they are not as serious as other charges that she was extradited back from Hawaii for. So, so the main reason why they extradited her back was because, well, first off, she obstructed the court and she was in non-compliance with a court order. And that was the contempt of court charge. So the misdemeanors that she has still pending against her that she will have to defend herself on are three misdemeanor charges of obstruction of a peace officer or court officer. They're the same title. All right, resisting the aid of a peace officer and the contempt of court. So those are the three misdemeanors. If found guilty on those charges alone, Lori is looking at a maximum of 2 years in prison. Years in prison. Now, is prison and jail the same thing? Well, no, it's not. But a lot of people intermingle the two terms together and say prison when they mean jail and jail when they mean prison. It's not the same. Jail is usually a lower security in-house arrest and confinement, where you normally would spend time in your local community where they have a jail, or in your county where they have a jail. Prison, they send you away to the big house. That's where they send all the hardened criminals. It's more security. It's more of a harsher sentence. So she would be sent away to actual prison itself for those, because anything more than 1 year and 1 month of a sentence total on those charges, they would send her to prison. So if she got to 2 years, she would go away to the big house, not county jail. All right? Total fines that she would be looking at is a maximum fine of $2,500 per misdemeanor, or you can add up $7,500 total for her total fees, not counting attorneys. So what does she still have? She has two conspiracy charges, all right, And those two charges were combined with Chad's. They combined that case together. Now, let's talk about the court dates. Lori Vallow, right now, it sits on the actual books in Madison County, Lori Vallow has the following court date set: January 25th, and the DA, Mr. Robert Woods, has asked for a total of 5 days for that trial. 5 days. So starting the 25th of January, going on 5 days to have a trial for the three misdemeanor charges. Now, between now, December 1st, and January 25th, at any point in time between now and then, they can decide we're going to push this off, so these charges will be handled at the same time as Lori's conspiracy charges. That date for her two felony charges and Chad's two felony charges for the conspiracy, that trial date where they combined that case has been moved out 6 months from now. So that would be June or July of 2021. Again, going back, the three misdemeanor charges, they could decide, Mr. Woods and Mr. Means, her attorney, the two of them can decide that we would like to combine those three misdemeanors along with the conspiracy charges and handle it all in one case. That is up to the discretion between Mr. Means and Mr. Woods. If they decide to do that, that's what they decide to do. It doesn't take anything more than one signs off. Mr. Means would sign off on that Lori is going to waive her right to a speedy trial on it. Boom. He then files it. The court then rubber stamps it. They file it away. And then they can go as far out as they need to and then handle that actual three misdemeanor charges. So that is where it is right now. There is not a complete date set for the charges, the two felonies that are against Lori and the two that are filed against Chad for that combined case. That will be combined. Mr. Means will be there for Lori, and Robert Woods will be there for the DA on that case. They may, right now, have a completely different judge when it comes to that case because his docket is already filled when it comes to June and July. He has a little bit of flexibility, but the case is going to take some time, especially on when you combine the case and you have all the different people and all the different testimony and all the experts that they're going to want to call in to try to confuse the jury on it, and not counting the entire time it's going to take to select a jury and seat a jury for this trial. And to answer a couple of questions that have been asked to me directly, will this case be televised? The judge in the case right now has already decided that the court case will be televised in some aspect. He didn't say all of it. He didn't say what parts would be. You can bet that they're not going to show any kind of footage of the jury selection. That part won't happen. You won't see that aired on TV because juror members don't, and potential juror members don't want to be on TV. And then when they do show the trial, they may not show the jury at all. They'll just show the defense and the prosecution. And because of COVID, they're going to try to keep people social distance and everything else. And they even may have the jury in a completely separate room from the actual trial itself to keep the jury safe because of COVID. These are things that they can actually do, and they've already talked about, and it does not violate, the constitutional rights of the defendant, and nor should it really hamper, the state's prosecution of her on this case. So that's where that is. And I'm sorry about the fact that the lights are going on and off and up and down. I got a bulb going out, and I Gotta go get another one, but you can't just run down to the store and buy one of these bulbs. They're like that big. So sorry about that. But that's it. That gives you a little bit of information on the trial date, the misdemeanor charges, the charges that have been dropped, and when the actual case is going to go to court. They agreed upon a 6 month delay for the felony charges that Lori has and the two that Chad have, where that has been combined into one case. And the two felony charges that were dropped against Lori. But that's where we're at. Everyone wants to know, how is Lori and Chad getting along in jail? Well, for the most part, they're doing fine. And you may not like the answer to what I'm about to say. To answer how are they doing in jail? Well, they're both doing absolutely fine. They have been receiving plenty of mail, fan mail, and support mail from supporters out there. Yes, there are people out there who support what they are there for and support them as individuals, not just family members. These are people who are writing to them and asking it and praying for them and everything else. They've also been receiving plenty of donations to their inmate accounts there at the jails that they are currently incarcerated in. So they've been able to buy snacks, food, and other personal hygiene items, and whatever they so desire on their inmate accounts. Lori has made commissary, which is purchasing things from the actual commissary store, every single week since she has been there. And it's not just money that Chad put on her account or somebody else from her family put on the account. This is money coming directly from the general public. Now, this information came directly from a source within the Madison County Jail where Lori is currently incarcerated. So, Lori is doing fine. Chad is doing fine. Are they able to communicate with each other? No. You cannot communicate with your co-conspirator on any means at all. So no, they're not able to communicate by phone or by letter. I guess they can communicate through their porthole that Chad has put up anywhere he wants to, but that'd be the only way that they're able to communicate with each other. Thank you again, everyone, for stopping by and checking out this video today. Again, if you have a question, put it down in the comment section, and I'd be more than happy to try to answer it later on. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Told you the lights flickering off and on. What's going on? This, ladies and gentlemen, is a light bulb I have to replace. There are 6 of them in here, and they're all on dimmers. And this one is a burnt out one, but as you can see right now, that the one over here, right up there, is the one that's flickering, and it's going out. They go bad, but they're not cheap because they're not free. So I was asked. I'm just giving you an honest answer. I'm not asking you to give me your money. I'm not asking you to do anything more than just be here and join along with me on this journey while we get the truth out there. So thank you again. God bless you all and have a good night and stay safe out there. Well, hello there. Welcome to the end of the video. Would you like to become a channel member or a Patreon supporter? Live links to become either or both are in the video description of every episode that I put out. I would appreciate if you'd check it out and consider becoming either a Patreon supporter or a channel member. You can do so for as little as $1 a month or 6 cents a day. Thank you very much for checking it out. I appreciate it. And love to each and every one of you who help support this content and keep this channel alive.